Greetings and welcome to the Transform Podcast. This is episode 23 and it's Friday, December 31st, 2021. And I'm your host, Christopher Anastasio. So thank you as always for checking in and listening to the podcast today. We are finishing up the year with our 23rd episode, so we're excited for all the listens and shares and likes and subscriptions that you guys have thrown our way. So super appreciative of that. Really excited to go into 2022 strong and keep publishing for you guys at least twice a week. So this episode was supposed to come out yesterday, the 30th, so I apologize for the delay, but glad that we can get one last episode into you guys before the new year comes. So what we're going to use today's episode for is a fairly brief sales pitch. So, if you've listened to the other 22 episodes, you know that we rarely get into the subject of what Transform can do for your business. I mean, I've alluded to it and I've mentioned some things along the way that we could be of help to you on. But today I just want to use, the 8 or 12 minutes to focus on that and give you guys something to think about as you head into the new year. In terms of what kind of assistance, if any, you might need for your business's marketing efforts. And, a couple of episodes ago, I think it was episode 19 or 20, I talked about 3 stages of marketing. And I talked about how you move from it's a time-saving exercise when you offload it to someone, then hopefully that progresses into actual, revenue building and getting you clients and new customers, like expanding your business's bottom line. And then thirdly, you move into a whole other realm of existence where you become a media company and actually your content publication becomes your first priority. And then behind that, you deliver your product or your service. So as you guys consider where you are in those 3 stages, each one of them provides you a justification to say, okay, maybe it's time for me to use somebody like Transform for my marketing needs. Because either A, I need to save time and I need to get it off my plate. B, I need somebody to take my business to new levels of revenue and client acquisition. Or C, I want to move into this whole other realm of building brand and leading with brand first and not even competing with anybody anymore. Just literally using brand to sell my product or service. So no matter where you are in those stages, Transform can help you navigate that stage. So, that's worth some thought, and that's something that I think you guys, as you wrap up the year, that would naturally be something for you to think about. Like, where are you on that spectrum? And I think that if you said, well, Chris, I'm nowhere on that spectrum, I have no problem marketing myself, or leads just come to me and I don't need to do anything. It's all word of mouth and there's no issue, getting customers or building the bottom line, then sure, it doesn't apply to you and I wouldn't suggest that you force it. But if you're not in that boat and you don't just walk around magnetizing leads to your business, or you don't feel like learning this stuff and doing social media and doing digital marketing and doing ads and running email campaigns and so forth, then I would suggest or recommend strongly that you look on this continuum of those 3 stages that I mentioned and say, hey, where are we? So all that being said, let's just talk briefly about the different areas that Transform can help you guys. What are the specific things that we do? And I'm still going to stay fairly high level, but I want to give you each category, each broad-based category of services that we provide. So just starting at a top level from a digital marketing perspective, we will help your business. And when I say help, I mean to the extent you're comfortable. We could take this on entirely and take it entirely off your hands, or we could work closely with you if you already have a vision. But that is to develop marketing campaigns and themes that you want to use as angles of attack into your market, to penetrate that market, to burrow deeper into that market. What messaging are you going to use to sell your product or your service and to get the word out and to start, coalescing attention around a particular marketing theme. If you've watched the big brands on television, you know that they'll run a campaign for, a certain number of months, maybe even years, and they will sort of build around that campaign, and then, all of a sudden, months or years later, they change their mascot, they change the tagline, they change the messaging, and they have a new campaign. So developing your top-level marketing sort of line of attack, your theme, your campaign, your message, whatever you want to call it, is something that we assist with, okay? Just to help you get oriented and figure out exactly what it is that you want to say and who you're going to say it to and how often you're going to say it. All those different key critical questions, we're involved in that planning and that effort with you. So that's top-level, just digital marketing perspective. Now, come down a level into social media marketing. So once either you already have it or we've helped you build your digital marketing campaign and your themes and your message and everything you want to go forward into the marketplace with, then you get into more of a tactical level execution kind of posture. And this is where you start using the tools available on the internet to get your message out there. You start using the social media platforms, you start using your website, you start using email to get into that marketplace and get the word out and really start to hammer home your message. So not only can Transform help you with that high-level messaging, but we can help you execute at that more tactical level on those social media platforms in particular to proliferate that message. And we do it across 3 broad areas of effort. Number 1 is organic traffic. So we will assist you, or we will take the lead, depending on, again, how you employ us and what you're comfortable with. But we will be involved with developing organic traffic. That's the free traffic that just gets posted to social media platforms for no cost. Developing the creative part of those things, like the graphics, the animations, things of that nature, as well as the copywriting. Again, to the level that's appropriate. I mean, in your field, if it's specialized and you know exactly what you want to say, then you don't really need our help with that. But if you'd like our help with that, we will do the best that we can to assist you there. Okay? And again, the less specialized the field, the more likely it is that we can assist you there. So we're helping you build creatives, we're helping you build copywriting, we're building out calendars that show when the content is going to be released and, puts that content out at a strategic kind of pacing and timing and so forth. And so we run that whole organic effort for you, okay? And we make sure that you have consistent, regular, routine posting that's occurring and keeping your brand and your product and service out there in the realm of visibility to your customers. Okay. Now we also assist with paid campaigns. So not only are we helping you do organic efforts like the ones I just described, but if you've allotted a budget for actually running ads on these platforms like Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and whatnot, then we will help you assemble and run and manage those campaigns. So again, it's developing the creative, the visual, the graphic, the animation, etc., and those sorts of things. And we will help you do the copywriting, like the headlining and the taglining that goes on with those ads and the actual text that accompanies them. And then we will manage those ads on the platform. We will monitor performance, check the metrics, provide you analysis, give you recommendations on how your budget is performing and how the campaign is performing. Okay, so we can complement the two. If you turn both of those over to us, we can work organic and paid campaigns in concert with each other. We can actually use organic content to supply us with certain materials and messaging that then goes into those paid campaigns. And lastly, we also assist with email campaigns. So if you're, let's say you're using both paid and organic traffic to bring people back to your website, and you are capturing their email address on that website, building a repository or your own list, if you will, of traffic, what we like to call owned traffic, traffic that you own, because now you have the email address and no one can take that away from you unless the person unsubscribes. Then we will help you assemble those campaigns as well. How do we bring somebody back to your site? How do we entice them to come back and give their email? Once they have given their email, what do you do with it? What kind of messaging do you put out? How often are you emailing them? Are you emailing certain types of customers or prospects differently for, let's say, someone who hasn't bought yet versus somebody who has bought? Those types of distinctions will come into play. So we can definitely help you guys craft the funnel that gets the email address and gets the person's attention, and then we can help you actually do something with that email address to make it actionable, to turn that email address into dollars and make a conversion out of it. Okay? So we've talked digital marketing, sort of high level planning, strategizing, messaging, social media marketing, where we actually go into the execution phase and we actually put out content in a certain manner on social media platforms, whether we're paying for the traffic and the ads, whether we're earning it through organic efforts, or whether we're using email to capitalize on it. Okay? So that constitutes quite a bit of what we can do for you guys. Now, of course, you could come to us and say, hey, Chris, I want to employ Transform, but I've got everything I need and I just need creatives. I just need literal graphics and animations to go with my content. Or, hey, I'm already doing video and I've got some great video content, but I really want somebody to proliferate the video content into audio and textual content and just take me to new heights with my video content. We can do that too. So I don't mean to give the impression that you either turn it all over to us or you turn none of it over to us. It's really more so you can go from zero to all of it or anything in between. And I personally have talked to prospects and clients who are anywhere along that spectrum. I mean, you have one prospect who's doing great with video, but they don't know what else to do with it. You have another prospect who has no idea what to do on any of the platforms and needs help across the board. It just depends. It just depends on you and your sort of personal business situation that you have going on in terms of what you're trying to accomplish, what you're comfortable doing on your own, what you have been doing on your own versus what you haven't been doing. Okay, we'll just walk through that with you and determine your level of comfortability, and then we'll make a recommendation like, hey, keep doing these things, stop doing these things, start doing these other things. And here's where we can help you with those. And here's where we can, take that burden off of your back. So the other thing I just want to mention briefly, kind of wrap things up here, is we also do websites and search engine optimization. So, one of the things that we would do in assessing your situation and sort of giving you this sort of free audit where we look and say like, okay, where are you, how are things going, would be to include your website in that and say, okay, how does the website look? How does it flow? Is it coded properly? Is it loading quickly? How many people are coming per month? What's the bounce rate? Are people leaving the website quickly? In other words, without doing anything? What's the navigation like? Is the navigation smooth? Is it understandable? Is it streamlined? Is it too in-depth? How does the website render on mobile devices? Does it render properly? Is it optimized for mobile? All types of things like that. Okay, I mean, we just kind of peel it apart, look at your website, see where the opportunities are, provide you that audit assessment, and then let you decide what you want to do from there. You might say, oh, okay, this looks like it's a mess. I want you guys to fix the whole thing. Give me a quote. Or you might say, hey guys, thanks for the audit. I'm going to take this elsewhere and I'm going to have somebody else work on it for me. And that's fine too. But I just want you guys to know that beyond the social media platforms, we also assist with websites and optimizing your website, making sure that it is in tip-top shape to go along with your other marketing efforts. Now, the key thing with the website is, when I talked earlier about email marketing, is that if your website is not doing well, if your website is not optimized, then we can run all the email campaigns, the funnel type activity to bring people back to your website. We can run all the activity on that we want, but we're probably going to lose people at the website juncture of the pathway. So that's the issue, is that there's a sort of symbiosis between all of these things that requires at least some level of coherence across the board. And that's why usually it's ideal if you bring us in and you have us kind of work on some level on all of these things. But if you say, hey, Chris, we want you to do social media marketing, we don't want you to touch the website, or we don't want you to do campaign planning, then there's a possibility that it may not be as optimal a result simply because we don't have purview or we don't have control over the whole picture. But even in those cases, we can determine the limited objectives that you want to achieve, and we can still craft a way to make our best attempt to get you there. So I would definitely encourage you guys at the onset of any relationship you establish with us to definitely have us do the audit. Definitely have us come in, take a look at what you have, lay it down, in a digestible format for you to say, okay, I now see where my strengths are, my weaknesses. I see some opportunities, some threats. A whole SWOT analysis, as they like to call it, and really give you a chance to say, okay, I now see what I'm facing and where I need to make improvements. Now I can make the clearest decision on hiring Transform. Okay? So let's go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. Definitely appreciate you listening to this. Like I said, it's a little bit of an unusual episode. That's the longest I've ever talked about Transform, I think, even if you add up all the other instances on all the other episodes. But every once in a while, we like to remind you guys that if this is difficult for you, if you're facing challenges, if you're kind of lost in the woods, you don't know what to do next, we are here. We are a resource that you can engage on some level or another. I mean, obviously we have different options and ways of helping you and different pricing packages that go with that. So definitely give us a ring. You can come to the website and submit a query through the website. You can drop a line to us on our Facebook and LinkedIn pages, or even a comment over on our YouTube channel. So with that, guys, super excited to head into 2022. Keep this conversation going with you guys. Hope everybody had a great, productive, prosperous 2021. I hope you stayed safe, healthy, and super excited to engage more with you guys in the new year. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the podcast. If you go over to our other social media channels, would definitely appreciate and be super thankful for any attention, any love you show us on those channels, like the Facebook page, the LinkedIn page, and our YouTube channel as well. So with that, guys, I'm going to sign off. Thank you again so much. This is Christopher Anastasio with Transform, and we will see you guys in 2022. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.